तत्परम्पर्याय विद्महे ज्ञानलिङ्गेश्वराय धीमहि तन्नो गुरुः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ योग महर्षि डॉक्टर स्वामी गीतानंद गिरी गुरु महाराज की जय। Namaste, Swagatam, Vanakkam. Always a pleasure to connect and reconnect with all of you on Saturday mornings. A time where most people are enjoying a weekend of bhoga, enjoyment, fun, hedonism, and instead focusing the mind on yoga, that amazing path of our own journey from the self to the self, through the self. Uplifting the self by the self. Uddharet Atma Atmana. Such a beautiful concept coming alive in every thought, every word, every breath, every deed. On the 1st of Feb, we will be beginning a new journey of Yantra Navangam, 9 sessions dealing with Yantra. We had a session in 2020 and this is the 2021 session where I will be exploring the concept of Yantra as understood in the Gitananda Yoga, Rishi culture, Ashtanga Yoga tradition. I felt I would use this Saturday morning to give you an overview of what this is all about. At the same time, I would like to invite you all on the 2nd of February. We will be having an all-night Om chanting. My father, Swami Geetananda Giri, Guru Maharaj's Yoga Guru, Yoga Maharshi, Swami Kanakananda Bhrigu. He was born on the 3rd of February, and every year my father at the ashram used to celebrate his Guru's birthday, the Jayanti. It used to be celebrated with a beautiful fire ritual, a homa, a havan, and this would be preceded by all-night Om chanting. Because one of the most amazing practices of this tradition is the pranava pranayama, utilizing the akara, ukara and mkara, creating the Omkara, Akara, Ukara, Makara and Omkara, where we utilize the sound of the sound of O, the sound of and unite them all together. Moving from cross through the subtle to the causal. Hence, the all-night Om chanting. Why all-night? Because Swami Kanakananda Bhrigu was known as Kannoya, the one who was the sleepless saint, and mentioned in the autobiography of a yogi by Swami Yogananda as Ram Gopal, which was his original name, Ram Gopal Mujumdar, who later became Swami Kanakananda, known as Kannoya. And as he was the sleepless saint, Swamiji used to feel that the best way to offer tribute to his Guru was stay awake chanting Om. So this year, for the first time, it's going to be done online. And we are working out the technical details of it. And you will all be most welcome to join us from 8 p.m. on 2nd of February to 5 a.m. on Third, following which we'll have the morning fire ceremony, the Havan, the Homa, which I will be doing as usual every year in honor of the Param Guru. Swami Kanakananda gave Swami Geetananda three important teachings of this tradition: mantra, yantra, and tantra. Mantra, tra means a tool. Mantra is a tool, an articulate tool that utilizes the power of vibration. Mantra, and through this utilization of the articulate sound as a potent tool of vibrational essence, you start to influence the mind. So it's a tool for the mind. A mantra is a tool for the mind, an articulate tool for the mind, utilizing the principle of vibration. Tantra is a tool for energy. These are the tools that enable us to understand energies that are part and parcel of who we are. We are an energy being, and the energy in us is as old as the Big Bang. Understanding the principles of energy in us, using them in the appropriate manner, right useness is yoga, righteousness. Tantra becomes an understanding of the energy matrix and the application of tools to work with it. Yantra is a tool to understand the matrix of connectivity. The matrix of connectivity of the whole universe. Because everything in this universe is interrelated. Everything is connected. All the dots connect. You can imagine as if you are watching this screen right now. And you see me on this screen and I can see some of you on this screen. Well, what you are seeing actually an image created from millions of small dots, small components, pixels they are called. And then you have pixels, megapixels, gigapixels, taking up all the space on your computer. Initially photos were took so much of pixels, and nowadays, it's all, you have 10 pictures on your computer and your computer goes slow. They're so big these days. All the pixels coming together, all the pixels interrelated to one another create the image that we can perceive. So if you want to understand what this image really is, you need to understand the connectivity and the interconnectivity and relationship between all the pixels that make up the manifest image. Similarly, this universe, a manifest universe, think of it as an image. That is what Vedanta says. It's all just an image, an illusionary image called Maya, made up of all the Maya, me, mine, all that makes up the Maya. Sarvam Brahmamayam. We want to understand what are the pieces of the puzzle. You have this entire jigsaw puzzle, a beautiful image. That whole jigsaw puzzle is made up of multiple pieces. And every piece has a purpose. Sometimes the piece is just to be a blank piece in the middle of that image. Sometimes it is the eye of the dinosaur. Sometimes it is the horn of the rhinoceros. Sometimes it is the tooth of the lion. Sometimes it's the tip of the tail of the elephant. Each component of that jigsaw puzzle is required and has a purpose in the bigger scheme of things. None of the pieces are there without a purpose. What is purpose? Dharma. The purpose for which we are incarnate. The purpose for which we have crash landed on this planet called Earth. It is the karma bhumi. We have a dharma. We have a purpose for which we have crash landed on this planet, and the moment you crash land, you land with all your baggage called karma, because this is the planet where the karma can be burnt out. That is why planet Earth is called Karma Bhumi. Karma Bhumi. It is where you can work out your karma, and even the gods in heavens, when they have some karma to work out, they have to be incarnate down on this planet. The gods in heavens cannot work out the karma in the heavens. They have to come down on earth. So many stories of so many of the gods who have to come down on earth and manifest on this karma bhumi to work out the karma. How do you work out your karma? By living your dharma. When you live your purpose, you are burning up the karmic baggage that you have. All the accumulated karma from innumerable incarnations. Aneka janma samprapta karma bandha vidahine. You want to burn up. Why burn? Because if you bury karma, it comes back with interest. If you hide karma in the closet, one day it opens and all the skeletons in the closet come and you are suffocated by all the skeletons in your closet. Not somebody else's, your closet. It is your karma, not anybody else's karma. That is the teaching Narada gives Ratnakara, who becomes Valmiki. Your karma is your karma alone, and nobody will share your karma, especially if it is negative or painful. When it's a bit pleasurable, people may want to partake of your karma. The sukha they may like, not the dukkha. The purpose of being born human is to manifest your dharma, manushya dharma, the highest dharma, manushya dharma. And your purpose is swa dharma, swa. Swa means self. Swa adhyaya. When you start to introspect on your own story, your own chapter, adhyaya could be a chapter. Swa adhyaya, swadhyaya. You are beginning to read and understand and study your own chapter, not somebody else's book. You are reading your own book to realize your instruction manual. And all the small print that comes in your instruction manual. We always want to read somebody else's book. The grass is greener on the other side. Ikkare mattirku akkare pachai. The grass is always greener. Remember, more often than not, the greener grass is artificial, not real. The greener grass is often artificial. So watch out for that. In the Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah, I do watch those type of movies also, and Captain Jack Sparrow and all his sadomasochistic, misogynistic, megalomaniac antics. Because it reminds me of so many of us human beings. Captain Jack Sparrow is just a manifestation of so many of us human beings. You know, when the mermaids are there, they all look so beautiful. And then they get you underwater and gone. They eat you up. Often the greener grass is like that. It's a mirage. And people are always after mirages. We don't want to look at ourselves. Swadharma is the capacity to understand who you are, what is your purpose, and then start to live your purpose. Because the more you live your purpose, the more you follow your dharma, marga. Marga means a path. The more you walk your path, the more you walk your path, the more you eradicate all that is not you. All the klesha karma is eradicated. But you need to know your path. The dharma marga is the path for which you are born. It is the purpose for which you are born. And it is good to have a GPS. It is good to have guidelines. It is good to have a support system. And yantra, as understood in the Gitananda Rishi Culture Ashtanga Yoga Parampara, gives us an understanding so that we can better know ourselves and understand the interconnectivity. Yantra is defined as an understanding based on number, name, and form. Number, name, and form. The number and name part is very much personal. The form part is a bit more, expansive. Yantra is often, people say, oh, it's yogic numerology. I say, not really. We are dealing with numbers, we are dealing with names, we are dealing with forms. But it's not really numerology, because the way numerology has been hijacked in modern times is get a lucky number for your house, find a lucky name for your business. And yantra is not about that at all. It's about you having tools to understand your role in the bigger picture, understand how the jigsaw puzzles come together, understand how the pixels come together to create the image, and you start to realize where you are, where you need to be, and how to go there. Many years ago, Dr. John Mumford, Swami Ananda Kapila Saraswati of Australia, came back to the ashram, and he started to give back to us through an annual yantra course the beautiful teachings that my father had stopped teaching towards the end of his life. As a kid, running in and out of classes and climbing trees while listening to my father's classes, or chasing monkeys and donkeys and buffaloes while classes were going on. I think I still chase all of them, but they are more in human form these days. I used to, hear these terms. I used to know that my father was writing something on a blackboard and he was explaining something to people about it. So there was a osmotic absorption of it. Higher concentration to lower concentration. But by the time I did the 6 months twice with my father, 1991, 92, and 93, my father wasn't teaching much of the yantra. So Dr. John Mumford, when he came back in 1993 to Pondicherry for the yoga festival, the first ever international yoga festival that now has gone through more than 26 years, he reconnected with Swamiji, and after Swamiji's Mahasamadhi, started coming back every year to teach a yantra course, and I had the opportunity to do a few years of the training with him, and then he started allowing me to teach with him, and then he said, now it's time for Ananda to teach it, I don't have to come anymore. So close to 20 plus years of yantra. I've been teaching it about 20 plus years now. People say, Dr. Ananda, can you describe your life before yoga and after yoga? Before and after comparisons. And many people like to talk about the life before yoga and then yoga happened and what happened to the life. I say for me it's a bit difficult. I would have to go into past life regression analysis because for me, I was conceived in yoga. So there's no before and after yoga in this lifetime. This whole lifetime has been yoga for me. But I can definitely give you a comparison before yantra, after yantra teachings came into my life. And the post yantra Dr. Ananda. Yes, by then I had become a doctor. So the pre-yantra was the non-Dr. Ananda, and then it became Dr. Ananda post-yantra. So it's quite interesting how both came together. The post-yantra Dr. Ananda has been able to perceive the interconnectivity of everything. Whereas the pre-yantra Ananda thought everything was isolated and different. Because the moment I started to understand and absorb these teachings and the teachings came alive for me, all the teachings of yoga for me are living. They are not theory. They are not just in some book. They are not just something to be spouted with verbal diarrhea. These are teachings that are alive and kicking. And if you don't live them properly, they kick you. Yantras like that. It's a living teaching for me. It is alive. Yantra for me is a living, throbbing aspect of the universe. So, what suddenly changed in me was, I used to think, oh, that is anatomy, this is physiology, this is psychology, this is life, this is diet, that is the ocean, this is a building, that is a dog, this is a human being, that is the sky, that is the sun, this is a table, that is a mobile phone, this is a cloth, these are spectacles, and this is a spectacle. I used to think each of these is isolated. I used to think that, well, these are discrete entities. And yantra enabled me to see that everything connects to everything else. And the more you start to see the connectivity, the more life starts to make sense to you, because suddenly you realize life is constantly teaching you. Life is the best teacher. Life is constantly guiding you. Life is the best guide. Life is constantly giving you opportunities for growth. Life is the best mentor. And you start to find, okay, fine, this is related to that. And seriously, I would say a lot of common sense comes alive. You start to see cause and effect better. Why are we incarnate on this planet? Well, the day we are incarnated gives us a clue. And so, the day you are born gives you an indicator of the path, the purpose for which you are born. It starts to give you a roadmap, whether you are born to play a role of leadership, whether you are born to play a role of diplomacy, whether you are born to be a performer, a manifester, whether you are born to serve, whether you are born to experience life in its fullest transformative nature, whether you are born to understand responsibility, whether you are born to understand the self deeply and connect to the spirit, whether you are born to manage the external world in an organized manner, whether you are born for a purpose of humanitarian service for the greater good, And I've just gone through the birth path 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. The Dharma Margas, the 9 paths that are there for us in this lifetime, not so that you become famous, not so that you get more money, not so that your wife or husband will always be happy with you, or your kids will be the best kids in the world. No, not for that. For the sake of you understanding yourself and why you are here. Because the more you understand yourself, the better you are going to feel. I'll tell you that much. Because when you understand yourself is the best friend. The Atma becomes the best bandhu. But if you don't understand yourself, the Atma becomes the worst ripu, the enemy, as Bhagavad Gita Krishna says. Atmaiva hi bandhu atmano. And if not, ripu atmanaha. If you don't understand yourself, if you know yourself, you are your best friend. And if you don't know yourself, you are your worst enemy. That's basically the teaching. So the more you start to understand yourself, that becomes the opportunity to manifest your dharma marga. The second component that Yantra deals with is called karma yuga. Yuga means a cycle of time. And we are constantly going in cycles of time. This is a very different approach that Indian culture gives us. Because the Western aspect of time is linear. But in the Indian context, there is a cyclic pattern that keeps on repeating as you spiral up. So you are going in circles but not staying down here. You are starting here and the circle keeps growing as you spiral up and as you spiral up and as you spiral up. So you are constantly, it's like, imagine you have a hill and you have a road that goes round and round and round and round and round and gets to the top. So what happens is you keep on going in circles, but each time you come back to the same spot, you are slightly higher than the previous one. So you made a circle, the next time you're slightly higher, 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 and then finally you're at the top. Okay? Sounds something like the work with the chakras, right? And the chakras are connected to the Dharma Marga also. The Karma Yuga are the cyclic, spiraling aspects of time. And we start to understand that from the moment of conception. Because karma starts with conception. The moment of conception, karma starts. Because your karma is a psychic baggage, samskara vasana baggage, and when you suddenly are conceived, you have physical form, and the psychic baggage can attach to a physical form. Till that moment it was just psychic baggage, maybe psychic garbage, but let's call it psychic baggage in a nice way. The psychic baggage needs a physical form to start manifesting. And the moment you are conceived, the moment you are a single cell, 23 chromosomes from father, 23 chromosomes from mother, creating 46 chromosomes. Suddenly the karma says, hey, I can manifest now. There is a body, a sthula sharira, in which I can now embody and manifest on this plane of existence. Karma Bhumi is where the Karma Yuga can occur. So karma starts at conception. And from that time, in patterns of 9, the whole magic is 9 here. In circles or spirals of 9, 9 seconds, 9 minutes, 9 hours, 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 months, 9 years, 9 lifetimes. Spiraling, spiraling, spiraling. And these karmic cycles enable us to understand whether we are in a phase of time where we need to sow, where we need to plant and seed, which is phase 1. whether it is to create associations, phase 2, whether it is the manifest sprouting, phase 3, whether it is the tests, the trials and tribulations that come with any effort and any growth, phase 4, rapid growth and transformation, phase 5, a period of consolidation, phase 6, a phase where now the spiritual budding starts to occur. The spiritual budding starts to occur in 7. The manifestation, the budding in 6, the flowering in 7, and the fruition in 8. Because 8 is a materialistic number. It is a number where the external quantifiable aspects of profit start to come in. So that is where you start to experience an quantifiable aspect. And 9, where you tie it all back together before you start the next cycle. 9 is the largest single digit number. So what happens is that any number that you take can be reduced to what is called a digital root, a bija ank, bijank. Bija means a seed, ank is number. So you reduce any number to its root energy. So say a number like 27 becomes 2 plus 7, 9. So 9 is the root energy of 27. Whereas say a number like 35 is 3 plus 5 becomes 8. So the root energy of 35 is 8. And this is why any number you take, it doesn't matter trillions and zillions, you can bring it down to a single digit between 1 to 9. There is no higher single digit number than 9. And then there is no lower single digit number than 1. You say, what about 0? Well, from the yantric standpoint, 9 and 0 are one and the same. And that is a very beautiful aspect. Because what happens is that you start to realize that in that state of fullness, Purnam, it actually can also become Shunyam. And it's a very beautiful concept. Na Shunyam na cha Shunya Madhvaita Katvat Katam Sarva Vedanta Siddham Bravimi, as Adi Shankara says. A very beautiful concept here, that both the extremes actually become one. And this is why, say you have a number 101, it is 1 plus 0 plus 1, it becomes a 2. And if you have a 191, it also becomes 1 plus 9, 10 plus 1, 11, 11 becomes 1 plus 1, 2. So the 9 and the 1 actually become one and the same. 9 and 0 become one and the same in the picture of Yantra. And this is why there are the 9 birth paths, the Dharma Marga, the purposes for which we incarnate, that are related to the chakric energies. So Mooladhara related to the 1, Swadhisthana to the 2, and as you go on, you realize there are 9 centers. Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Ajna, Sahasrara, Narayanana, Brahmananda. Narayanana is the 8th, Brahmananda is the 9th. And then you have 10, 11, 12. Trikuti, Swaminana and Muktana chakras. But these highest 3, Trikuti, Swaminana and Muktana, these 3 are open for everyone. They are the 3 wise men that come to every birth. And they are the highest psychic centers that are so universal, they are common to everyone. But the other 9 are more individualistic. And so each individual can be connected with one of these, because when you are born with a certain purpose, your dharma, a certain energy vortex, a chakra opens at birth. With the first breath of life, the chakra opens. That is your birth center to give you the energy. It is like your energy source for this lifetime. Your energy source for this lifetime. Now, at different phases of your life, during the first phase of your life, the first 27 years, which is Brahmacharya, another center will open. During the next phase, 27 to 54, considered grahastha, householder, family life. There, another center opens. And then vanaprastha, you go into retirement, 54 to 81. And that is where you then have another center open. So you are constantly being influenced by your birth center and at least one other center. So it is a combination of these energies that enable you to be who you are at that point of your life. In addition, during the different cyclic aspects of time, another energy will also be there. And this is why the same us is a different person at different points of our life, depending on which energies are flowing through us. So the more we start to understand these energies, the more we start to understand, yes, there is a part of yoga that is more conducive for an individual's progress. You start to understand how to work with yourself. You start to get a bigger picture and more expansive bird's eye view of your own existence. And the more you are at ease with yourself, the more you are established in your own sukha sthana. Sukha is ease. Sthanam is a niche, a point of being, an abode, a state of residence. Sthana, a plane of existence. Sukhasthana, when you are established in your own niche of ease, you are at ease with yourself. That Sukhasthana is very, very vital for life, because most people are always in dukkha. They are always in painful suffering because of not understanding who they are, why they are here, or what is going on. And that is what avidya is as a klesha. So the approach in yantra and the approach that I will be trying to deal with during 9 lessons is always a bit tough in 9 lessons, because normally, till last year, this used to be something I would start with Kanakananda Swamiji's birth celebration, and then we would start this, and then the whole of the month of February, every day in the afternoon from 4 sometimes to 7, 2.5, 3 hours per day, we would work on this with the students in the ashram and, really, really go into it. And then when I last year had the opportunity to go online and be with all of you in our online e-Gurukula and Zoom womb, what happened is that I realized, well, you could start to bring it into a framework. And so the aspects of importance of number and importance of understanding the dharma marga, the path for which we are incarnate, the purpose for which we are here, the pathway for our own fulfillment of the purpose. Because dharma is the foundation for the rest of human effort. Purushartha, the Chaturvida Purushartha, the 4 legitimate noble aims of human life. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Mokshanam, Chaturvida Purushartham. The Chaturvida Purushartha, the 4 legitimate aims of human life. Dharma, living your purpose. Automatically, when you fulfill your purpose, fulfillment of one's purpose, automatically, Artha, fulfillment of one's physical materialistic needs. Then comes Kama, fulfillment of one's emotional needs. And then Moksha, fulfillment of one's spiritual needs. Through the fulfillment of our responsibility of who we are, we start to then fulfill ourselves materially, materialistically, emotionally, and finally spiritually. It is so important to understand the bedrock of human existence is dharma. Dharma is the bedrock of human existence. Dharma is the stepping stone for our spiritual evolution, or rather involution. Yantra has been something that has become my pet over the past 2 decades. And not because I teach it, but because it has enabled me to make sense of life, my own life, much better. It has helped me become more understanding of other people, why they are the way they are, what they need to do. It helps you a lot when you are profoundly interested in other people. And my father defined love as profound interest. Love as profound interest. And I'm profoundly interested in human beings. I am profoundly interested in life. I'm profoundly interested in Kaivalya. I'm profoundly interested in each and every one of you. And that is why I find that through my own understanding as I grow, and every time I teach it, it's different. What I have said today is already different than what I said in the last online session. And in the upcoming sessions, what I'll say will be different than this. Because as you grow, the teachings grow through you. They are living. They are not stagnant. They are not dormant. And if after 20 years, you are still teaching the same thing in the same way, for God's sake, get another job. Because it means those teachings have not come alive in you. You know, everything is constantly undergoing a process of parinama, transformation. That is what yoga is about. Yoga is all about transformation, transforming every aspect of life. Well, I think for scintillating Saturday session, that's enough for today. I just thought that I would share a few of these aspects, not to market my courses, because I trust the universe enough. And that is why, as someone asked me recently, they say, Dr. Ananda, you share so much for free online. Why would anybody bother to sign up and pay for your courses? I'm like, I'm not there selling peanuts. Huh? I'm not there selling peanuts that I need to make money on. Huh? Sharing is caring, and I truly believe in that. And you just keep sharing. And at some point, the universe knows what you need, not what you want. There's a big difference between what you want and what you need. It is weird, okay? We always want things. The universe says, I will give you what you need, not what you want. And that is why if we can start to understand ourselves better, we will understand what we need rather than what we want. And then we can make the right application. We can fill out the right appropriate form for the universe. And the universe then says, yeah, this person knows what they're asking for. Give it to them. Imagine you get this muddled up request letter from someone where they are not clear what they want, they are not clear what they need, they are not clear what they want from you. They're like, what the hell? What do I do with this? Huh? How do I help this person? Well, that's what the universe is doing most of the time. We are so garbled in our messages, so unclear in our communication. The more clear we become, the more the universe knows that you are ready for it. The whole process in yoga is being ready for what you need. Becoming worthy of your aspiration. When you are worthy of your aspiration will manifest. When you are ready and worthy for your aspiration will manifest. That sounded good, okay? I don't know where it came from. I enjoy listening to myself because I never know where these things come from. Huh? It's a beautiful joy when you are not saying it, but at the same time you are saying it. Huh? Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Love you all. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you have abundance in your life. And may wisdom manifest through you. Hari Om Tat Sat. Dhanyavadaha. Nandri. Vanakkam. Thank you.